Hi Mason families, as we get ready to go into the month of October, I can't believe we're already in October, but we're getting ready to head into October. I wanted to just pull back the curtain for just a second and show you a little bit about what's going on in order to keep our schools open. You hear us talk a lot about testing and data, but there's so much more that happens behind the scenes to make sure that we can keep our doors open for all of our kids. And I want to be honest with you because it's good for you to understand the transparent truth. It's hard. And it's really hard because right now it's hard to find classified staff in order to support all the things that we do so well for our kids. So let me give you a couple examples. We need child nutrition service workers immediately. We need substitute teachers in our classrooms immediately. We have needs in transportation. Now that is a process. I can't just have you jump in and drive one of our buses right away, but we need great drivers that care for our kids. And here's what I need you to think about. You might be just writing that off and saying, I couldn't be a substitute teacher in Mason City schools. You can, and we need you. If you have a high school degree, if you love kids and you care about our community and the success that we have here, you can be a substitute teacher. It could be as simple as this. You might be in one of our elementary classrooms and one of the things they have on their lesson plan is for you to read a book aloud to our students. All of us can do that. So if you have a spirit that just wants to help and serve in our community, I want to encourage you. I want to ask you personally to consider being a substitute teacher in our district. There are some things that we have also done to make that even more attractive to people and to appreciate and honor the work that goes on. So I want to give you a quick example of that. Our Board of Education has supported the move for us to put something called premium pay in place for a pay period at a time, where we raise the amount of money per day for substitute teachers. We've also, just at the most recent board meeting, our board has approved the move to raise the rate per day for our substitute teachers to $100 a day. So if that's something that might just pique your interest, or you know a neighbor that wants to get involved, please send them our way. We'll get them quickly oriented to the program. They'll go through the background check. We'll make sure that they are a person that would be a good fit for our school district, and then we'll hopefully help our classrooms to continue to provide the quality education that we need. So please consider that. The other thing I want to remind everybody as we go into October, this year, we are really focused on building a sense of belonging for all students and staff and community members. So you're hearing us talk a lot about a sense of belonging. And that's part of our OKRs, our objectives and key results, the things that we measure because they matter. And you've heard us talk about inclusive excellence, one of our big rocks. Well, this month, we are going to focus on the theme of inclusion. Inclusion is near and dear to me personally, and it should be to all of us. And I want to give a personal example of what inclusion looks like in the Cooper family. Here's what it looks like. Many of you know that we have 4 kids, and all of our kids have different needs, and we love that. One of our little guys has Down syndrome and many other special needs that are invisible needs that we might not be able to talk about here in this video, but things that are needs of his that help him every day. Well, we had a conversation with one of his teachers and they were asking great questions. They were just being simply curious to understand our story and to understand how Miles experiences the world around him. And one of the things we shared with him was it's really hard for a young boy that's in 5th grade to make friends. That's a hard thing to do when you have struggles with your speech or you have struggles with your behavior. And so how do we build those relationships authentically? And that moment, the teacher looks at us and says, you know, I've been in teaching for a long time. I've never thought of that. I've never thought about how hard that might be for a young boy in a classroom to make friends. I wonder what we could be doing to encourage that sense of inclusion, that sense of belonging. So that's just a personal example of what that looks like. And all of our kids have those same needs. All of you have some of those same needs in your family. So this month, as we talk about our Comets Commit Challenge for our families, and we think about inclusion, I want to ask you as a family, what will you do practically and very specifically, those actions you'll take as a family to build a stronger sense of inclusion here at Mason City Schools in our community? It could be as simple as just being more curious and asking questions to your neighbor to deepen that relationship and open the door to inclusion. Another practical example, and there's so many of them in our community, is plug in and volunteer. We are a part of a group called the Challenger League. And the Challenger League is a baseball league for students with special needs. And they come together, and this week alone, we had our baseball team and our softball team and the coaches rally around. They put on a clinic for all the students involved, the student athletes in the Challenger League. And it's a beautiful example of how the community wraps around our kids so that everyone has that deep sense of belonging, and we celebrate our students. So that's my challenge to you in October. Think of ways your family can help strengthen that sense of belonging by focusing on inclusion throughout the month of October.